Flooding was also a major concern for many people around Tampa Bay. This was the scene during high tide this evening in South Tampa. Much of the water has receded, but another high tide is hours away. Chris Strankman joins us live along Bayshore to show us how it looks now. Chris?
Well, even though the water has gone down, what's left behind here on Bayshore Boulevard is seaweed and a layer of mud that makes this roadway extremely slick. As a result, Tampa police have it closed at this hour, an unfortunate side effect from the impact of Tropical Storm Andrea. At its peak, the waves came crashing through the balustrade with enough force to blast water over the sidewalk and onto Bayshore Boulevard. Those foolish enough to try and tackle the wind and water with inflatable rafts were quickly blown back. A bicyclist played a dangerous game of trying to beat the waves as they splashed over the seawall.
I'm glad my house is 4 up from this road.
Christina McGonigal nervously watched water creep deeper into the side streets thanks to the tide and the wind. It's a little alarming, isn't it?
It is, because, you know, the rain stopped, but the winds didn't, and so people think once the rains are over, everything's fine, but I don't think so.
This home fell victim to the gusty winds that split a palm tree's trunk in half and landing it on top of the porch. Seaweed and debris began washing up on sidewalks, along with an occasional fish. The flooded streets turned into an attraction as a mother carried her kid near the waves, while others chose to stay back with their digital cameras.
It sometimes floods, but usually doesn't get this deep into the neighborhoods.
Cole Kempton and his dad got some photos, but chose to keep their distance.
Let's say there was a bigger storm, that'd be really bad for the people living down here.
The Palmacia residents live on the highest point in South Tampa, and we're glad that today's flooding was limited to Bayshore, because this storm might be a taste of much worse things to come.
16 feet. That's not going to do us much good when the big one comes up the mouth of the bay.
Now, Tampa police are going to monitor the situation here as high tide comes back at about 3:45 in the morning. They hope to get this layer of mud, which is extremely slippery, cleaned up in time for morning rush hour. We're live in Tampa. Chris Strankman, ABC Action News.